up everyone, and I am back with another video for you guys today. And today I just want to do another reaction video to an interesting video by Janae Danielle, if I'm saying her name correctly, when it comes to with the topic of objectifying or just really sexualizing someone too. When it comes to with certain people, especially if they're a man, if you're a woman too specifically. And I know with Janae Danielle's video too, when it comes to what you guys see on the screen, it's just really talking about Sydney Sweeney's situation too, and just overall talking about being sexualized as a woman in her perspective too. And for me, just really being like a life coach, and especially specialized in somatic healing and with just mindfulness as well, I'm going to be really just talking about that too in that perspective at the end of the video too, just really sharing my own feelings and opinions and thoughts about what Janae is going to say too in this video. But when it comes to with that, especially with this reaction video too, when it comes for anyone who's watching this live or watching a replay for the first time or for the second time or for the third time, that's totally cool. It's up to you. And if you guys don't want to listen to my reaction to this video by Janae Danielle, when it comes to with that, and I'll make sure to actually scratch that. The video will be posted in the description below, so if you guys ever want to check out the original video when it comes to by Janae Danielle, or even check out her channel too, that's in the title of this video as well, you're more than welcome to check her out, show her support, follow her too when it comes to with her content as well, and just really showing support when it comes to with other content creators just doing their own thing and promoting really good content for people to just learn, to really just be entertained from too. And so without further ado, when it comes to with this topic of just being objectified and really just being sexualized as well too, when it comes to with those topics, I'm about to start the video and let's get the party started. So feel free to get your favorite snacks, self-care snacks, whatever that makes you feel comfortable with your mind, with your body, with your energy, and your spirit and all that. And let's have a good time.
She has come out and said that she doesn't like being hypersexualized. So why are you also working with a men's soap brand to release your bathwater as soap?
And seeing the cover to her newest album, where she's on her knees being manhandled and grabbed by the hair. I'm a woman and I am very disappointed.
Women pretend to not want to be sexualized. They pretend to not want to be objectified, but deep down inside, a lot of women, most women is cool with all of it if they benefit from it.
How dare you sexualize me without buying my bathwater first? For just $9.99, you can get a whole tub of my tub water. But don't lust after me. Don't look at me. Don't fantasize about me. Most definitely, don't objectify me. Support women though, link below. No, but seriously, what is going on with the normalization of women objectification? That was a bar, but we have to keep going because once I start, I will never stop. We went from my body, my choice to my body, your content. And somehow we're calling this empowerment. And while I'm not judging the women that we're going to be using as examples today, even though there's a hard side eye trying to twitch its way through.
Just be nice. I'm finding it.
Be nice.
It takes you that long to find it?
It does.
Be nice.
I can't help but question why this has become the default step into womanhood. Apparently, the stages are newborn, toddler, and then boom, baddie in a bodysuit. No awkward tween phase, no identity crisis, just a full face of makeup and retinol. But I'm getting ahead of myself because this isn't just about women doing what they want with their bodies. It's about how that performance has quietly become the standard. And the scariest part, the youth is watching very closely. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video, we become bestie enough to where you feel like you can take that next step. And I also want to take a quick moment to say thank you for 60,000 subscribers.
Hey,
From the bottom of my little old southern heart.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good stuff,
And the
good
last
stuff.
thing, any words that come out of my mouth that are bleeped, I'm probably saying sex or sexualized. I just want to keep this video as clean as possible for YouTube's
Right,
sake.
right.
Now let's talk about the soap
Respect.
ad
I'll do
that
the
broke
same
the
also.
internet and probably a few people's brain cells. Somewhere between the bubbles and the blonde, a bar of soap turned into a thirst trap. That sounds like a wicked Disney fairy tale.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body? Wash. Well, you can't have it.
Hey, that's
Because this
that.
isn't for boys. It's for men.
The squash
This is
soap.
Dr. Squatch Natural Body Wash. Hello, you
Oh,
dirty little
yo,
boy.
I remember that. Well, that's wicked. Yo, what the hell? What's going on?
Imagine explaining this scenario to somebody in the Victorian era. Stones thrown immediately. But fast forward to 2025, this isn't stone worthy, it's marketing genius. See, the thing is, these men aren't just buying soap. They're buying a fantasy that they asked for. The term buying bathwater didn't originate from the Dr. Squatch ad. That sick little fantasy has been bubbling online for years.
This is Belle Delphi. Blowing up in the
Yeah,
early
it
days
has
of TikTok,
actually
she had a
been
very
way
unique style.
before
She
that.
basically went viral
Egyptian
by
times,
mixing
too.
anime
I'll explain
cosplay
that more
with
in a later
revealing
video.
outfits and making faces like this. She began bottling and selling her own bathwater for $30 a bottle, and within just months, she
That's
had made
crazy.
millions of dollars selling out over and over.
Back in 2019, after getting flooded with comments like, "Let me drink your bathwater," Belle didn't roll her
Yo.
eyes. She seen dollar signs. She bottled it up, called it Gamer Girl Bathwater, and sold it for $30 a pop. So while she didn't invent the bathwater craze, she definitely showed the internet just how profitable it could be. And not just the internet, but global industries like the bath product industry, where huge companies like Dr. Squatch are just scheming in the corner waiting to put women's bodies on display for money. And when billion-dollar companies are cashing in on fake intimacy, what are other women watching this supposed to think? Maybe that this is what being a woman is. This is what sells. This is what men want. This is power. And let's be real, Sydney didn't invent the sales blueprint, but she definitely got swept into the wave. From the jump, people weren't just checking for her talent, they were checking for her chest. It didn't matter how she dressed. Her bigger assets made her the internet's new biggest fantasy. She wasn't trying to sell but the internet turned her into a thirst trap. And
Yeah, they did.
eventually, she
They
just
really
leaned
did.
into it.
Is it hard to act while I'm not wearing clothes? No.
You don't find you get like nervous?
No. I think that the female body is a very powerful thing. I'm
Yes, it
telling
is.
my
It
character's
is.
story.
I agree.
And so I owe it to them to tell it well and do what needs to be done.
She played the game, gave the people, mainly men, what they clearly came for. Because when most of your fan base are made of grown men foaming at the mouth, what else are you supposed to do?
I
Right.
bet so many women are going to tune in this weekend.
Yeah, weirdly, a lot of my fans are men.
I wonder why.
But
I wonder
those
why,
same
huh?
men who idolize your body can quickly throw you away just as quick as
What
their
kind
eyes
of men
darted
is
over
the
your
question?
body in the first place. And for the proof, some of them were already doing it, claiming that Sydney's face wasn't even all that without her bigger assets.
People on Twitter are really trying to sit here and act like that Sydney Sweeney is not beautiful. They're really out here trying to say that the only thing attractive about her is her body. And you tried to show us this picture to prove your point, but she is still bad in the picture.
And now that she's portraying Christy Martin, a former female world champion boxer,
Oh,
in an
shit.
upcoming movie, the male gaze is glitching.
Sydney Sweeney is about to play Christy Martin in an up-and-coming biopic. And
That's
Sydney Sweeney
badass.
is really taking on this role. She put on 30 pounds. She got super strong. So why, when doing a role that could literally shift the trajectory of your career, are we making this the narrative? My boobs got bigger and my butt got huge. Like, just say you gained weight. You know what I'm saying?
One comment from that video that really caught my attention, and I mean, it just jumped out the screen at me, is Sydney Sweeney needs to be careful because she's attracting a certain demographic of men that will only see her for her body, and eventually those same men are going to drag her when they realize her looks are starting to change, which they will one day. And I couldn't have said it better myself. That's the thing for being desired for how you look. It's an ego booster, it's fun, it's profitable, But let's be honest, it's on a timer. But this isn't just about Sydney.
I don't know
It's
about
about a
that,
bigger shift in
but
branding
anyways.
altogether. Because the weirdest part is this relatable but sexy aesthetic, it's becoming our new normal. Even for stuff that has nothing to do with being sexy, like soap or music. Listen, if over women in the music industry didn't have one hater, I'd be dead. But since I'm alive and kicking, I'm gonna keep asking the questions that nobody wants to answer. Starting with Sabrina Carpenter, baby, come to the front. Why do you disguise feminism with objectification?
Sabrina is crossing the line between sexual freedom and objectification whilst referencing the most disgusting book I've ever read. To someone who's never heard of Lolita, never read the book, never seen the movie, this might look like a regular photo shoot. This is a book about a man in his late 30s/early 40s, and his name is Humbert, and he falls in love. The problem is, the object of his love is a year-old girl. This was never supposed to be a romance book. It was created to evoke that strange feeling inside you because you could never understand how Humbert can think so many disgusting things about a little kid. Seeing this photo shoot and then seeing the cover to her newest album, where she's on her knees being manhandled and grabbed by the hair. I'm a woman and I am very disappointed.
I like to insert the comments from certain videos that I play because I want y'all to feel like you're watching the video and reading the comments at the same time. Overstimulation at its finest. Because let's keep it real. We're all iPad kids. But also, I want y'all to see that we're waking up as a society. The music industry has always found slick ways to put women on display. But now, they're not even trying to be subtle about it anymore, and it's getting disgusting. And they think us as a society, we're too numb to notice, too desensitized to care. But baby, we see it.
I hate to say it because I love Sabrina, but this cover, it gets to a point, I find it to be a little too salacious, a little too, and I hate to say it, male-gazy.
I feel like we're really close to finally being free. But then here comes Sabrina Carpenter. Her album cover for her new album, Man's Best Friend, displays her literally being dragged by her hair like she's a chew toy. And while I get that most artists these days are trying to do the absolute most for shock value or promo buzz, there's a difference between being provocative and being downright dehumanized. If this is the feminism that everybody keeps talking about, then feminism's PR team needs to hold a press conference immediately. We need a statement. Sabrina's whole brand is built on satin bows, pastel colors, ribbons, glitter, and baby voice innuendo lullabies. And then people get confused that parents don't like for their children to be listening to it. Let's be for real. And I'm a firm believer in snatching that screen time away, especially if your child is under 10 years old and can't even spell innuendo. To be fair, most of the time it's not the artist, it's the parents. They hand their kid an iPad like it's a pacifier, and then they get mad that their children are walking around singing lyrics about being on your knees. And it also doesn't help her case that she was a child actress on Disney Channel. She can't control it, but some of her fans may still look at her as that. Not to mention, I came across a video while I was researching for this topic that really threw me off, and I can't defend it.
But how old are you actually? You're 16? Oh no, you got time. So where would you say right now, like, how are you feeling? Would you say you're feeling quite sad? Would you say you're feeling angry? Or would you say you are horny?
Oh, what the hell, man?
Wait, let's even ask you that. You're right.
Oh no, what the fuck, man?
It's really trying to creep and twitch its way through. Because what do you mean?
Man.
Why are you asking a 16-year-old that? But anyways,
yeah, exactly.
We're going to lay off of Sabrina's neck for right now because she's not the only one. The pop stars may be playing it cute, but the rap girls, oh, they're giving it their all. Female rappers aren't just leaning into it. They're doing a full split on blending rap with rated R branding. Now, we already know that sells. That's not new. But the line between empowerment and pandering, it's getting a little blurry. There, I said it. Are these women owning their image, or are they just giving the industry exactly what they want because they know it's going to go viral and they're going to get rich? Women should be able to express themselves however they want, but let's not pretend like this hustle doesn't come with a cost of peace, privacy, and honestly, sometimes even dignity. These same women will shame people for them, making assumptions, leaving dirty comments, and so on. But when your whole brand is built on Can we be surprised when people are reacting to what's being sold? And listen, none of these women deserve to be objectified, disrespected, or looked at like a piece of meat. And I know a lot of these women don't want to be reduced to just a body, but we see the visuals, we hear the lyrics, and sadly, that's the contradiction. We're serving up the pill on a silver platter, and then we get confused when people show up hungry and ready to eat.
I was on Instagram scrolling, come across this picture. This picture was a girl covering her face in the mirror with her out. You know, obviously the comments are going to say something along the lines of, I want to crack that. Oh yeah, let me crack. You know, let me eat. You know, things of that nature. But then, like, I go to the comments and there's like her replying to the comments saying how uncomfortable she is from these comments and stuff. Like, what do you expect when you post, like, you know, things like that? Like, that's the attention that you clearly wanted, and that's the attention you gathered. Now you feel uncomfortable about the attention that you got.
And I hate to point fingers at these women because I'd rather point fingers at the system that they get trapped into, the system being show more, get more. But it's hard to point fingers when some of these women know exactly what they're doing. Point in case, Cardi B, an A-list rapper who won't even let her own daughter listen to her music.
Cardi B is dishing out parenting advice. People are coming at her for not letting her 2-year-old daughter Culture listen to her song WAP. Fans noticed Cardi quickly turned the song off in a video where Culture had walked in. One tweet directed at her said, quote, "So your daughter can't listen to it, but everybody else's daughter can?" Cardi clapped back saying, "You need to stop with this already. I'm not JoJo Siwa. I don't make music for kids. I make music for adults. People are responsible on what their children listen to or see."
Good parenting, I guess, but she knows what she's doing. Now, I know rappers like Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and Sexy Red don't make music for the youth, but that still doesn't change the fact that the youth are the ones who are eating it up the fastest. Their songs are lip-synced to TikTok videos, played at school dance functions.
Are you serious? They're playing that at a...
Whether it was made for them or not, it still reaches them. And I mean, like, show up to the school to perform type reaching.
What the hell? Ain't no motherfucking way. Excuse my language. Ain't no way.
This is ghetto as hell. This looks like a high school.
Way.
So I guess Sexy Red forgot about the mature audience only stamp that comes on her albums. So you're telling me that the principal let this slide. The school board approved it. They said, come on, bring Sexy Red. When even her name isn't appropriate for a school function. Like,
let Sexy Red go perform at that school. Y'all don't care about them kids anyway. It's obvious y'all don't care about them kids. I learned the last time I made my video about Sexy Red and the children and the way y'all tried to cancel me over it, that y'all don't care about them kids. So let her go and her weed smelling cleavage out perform at that school.
But on the bright side, the audience, like we said, do look like high schoolers. So at least they're around 15, 18 years old. Or with how the school system's looking nowadays, there could be a few 20-year-olds sprinkled in there. But no one's losing sleep over teenagers listening to grown music. That's what teenagers do. What gets me are the babies that are jumping from Miss Rachel to Miss Sexy Red.
What's your song?
I'm at top, they're going around.
Ooh.
It's trying to see me, it's trying to see me, it's trying to say what's up. Downtown, going downtown.
Oh, this is disturbing.
And no, I'm not pointing fingers at the children. So that only leaves space for the parental guardians.
You wanted to sit up and let them listen to inappropriate music. You wanted to let them sing along with it, dance along with it, make TikToks to it because you thought it was funny and cute. Right? And you're going to get to see what all of that looks like in real time very soon. Y'all going to have out of control teenagers that y'all can't do nothing with. They going to hate and can't stand your guts. And then you going to come to the internet crying to us about not being able to control your own child. And I'm going to say, told you.
And it's not the fact that they're exposed to this stuff. It's the way it's packaged up in a pretty little bow for me. Hypersexuality is being sold as confidence, boldness, and womanhood. And these young girls are being so overly saturated with these pop stars, IG baddies, you know. They start thinking that that's the blueprint to being a grown woman. Because now, being grown and sexy is seen as the goal. That's why so many of these girls are running hurdles trying to get past this tween phase we keep looking for.
This is what I look like, and I'm a 19-year-old, okay? Let's all keep that in mind. I'm a 19-year-old, okay?
We've seen Alabama Barker, Jody Woods, not just the outfit and the music, it's the vibes too. The full face of makeup, thigh-high boots, lace front wigs, that over-the-shoulder stare that they be doing in Instagram pictures, all at 14 years old.
Someone at the office held a competition asking around, how old do you think she is? I mean, take a look for yourself. I said 21, others say 19. Well, it turns out that she's only 16 years of age.
Get the fuck out of
even
here.
watching her TikTok videos illegal.
I can't believe that Jody was just only 15 years old. I thought she was older, like my age. But no, like she's really 15.
And while I'm not throwing shade at these girls, because half of them don't even realize that they're playing into the trap that the internet rewards and then throws away. What I'm saying is that girls get hyped up for being sexy and desirable. But the moment anyone actually desires them, even if that type of desiring is creepy, unwanted, or it's a problem. And that is the trap I'm trying to expose. This conversation was a little deep, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I tried to lighten the mood, but dang, like now that I'm thinking back about all we've talked about, I'm like, and I also want to make myself very clear on something because I see the comments, I see the back and forth, and while it definitely doesn't overshadow the huge amount of support I receive, I just want to say, some people watch my video, hear my thoughts, and they immediately label me. They label me as a pick-me. They label me as a woman hater. I've even gotten a comment of somebody saying that my content is pandering towards conservatives. And I just want to put this out there. I'm not pandering to anyone. I see a problem, which you may not think is a problem, and that's okay. But I see a problem. And when women are caught in the middle of that problem, whether it's being for a check, falling into toxic habits, or getting sold fake empowerment, I'm going to speak on it, and I'm going to stand on it 10 toes down. Putting religion, politics aside, I know that's a sensitive topic, but putting it aside, we should all agree that women deserve better than disrespect dressed up as freedom. And if that's not girl behavior, then I don't know what is. Because I'm going to stand for my girls, even if I have to hurt a few feelings along the way. Thank you for tuning into the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. If you like this video, please don't forget to actually like this video because it shows YouTube that you're rocking with me. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, like, whatever classy people like us do before heading to the next video. And I will see y'all in my next one. Bye!
Man, from just the reaction video to that we just watched, and yo, that was a lot to take in, honestly, when it comes to what Janae was talking about, and even with me as a man too. And I have no right to say what a woman's going through and how a woman's going through and how she can really just change that because I'm not a woman too. But I appreciate women, especially for those who, subscribe to my channel as well too. And especially the people that I know in person too, who are women, and also women in their own right, basically. And just like with me as a man, just listening to this, and you just being like a life coach too, and it's just really, I'm just gonna be really straight up too. I was kind of like disturbed and a little bit shocked too, and especially when it comes to like what Janae was talking about when it comes to Sydney Sweet and Sabrina Carpenter. It's just like, damn. I mean, I have nothing against Sydney Sweet. I mean, I think she's alright. I don't know much about her, honestly, but with Sabrina Carpenter, it's just that stuff that she was sharing about her that was disturbing too. And especially when it comes to what's, the messages are being, displayed out there for the younger audience, that kind of like turned kind of made me rub me the wrong way, basically too. So it was kind of like, I don't know, it's just disturbing. And you could really see it in my face too, but at the same time, I'm just going to be really genuine and really just be real as possible too when it comes to my reaction and response to this too, especially when it comes to, with just like with the objectification too. And especially, you know, I'm just going to speak from my own experience and perspective, you know, when it comes to for adults, people who are, you know, 21 years old and over. I'm just going to really just share that, you know, perspective, because I'm not a parent. I'm just an uncle to an awesome person. And I have no right to say too when it comes to with the younger generations, especially being as a parent too. I'm not in that stage yet, but once I am, then I probably will. But right now, I'm just, you know, a life coach and just a single person who's an uncle and all that. But when it comes to with just like for people who want to put themselves out there, especially for grown men and women who really want to just put themselves out there when it comes to with any kind of desires and goals that they have, or even just like when it comes to just really being comfortable with who you are, you really got to know what you're getting yourself into and what you are doing too, and just really being careful with that, especially if you want to be like in the entertainment industry, or if you want to be in the wellness industry too, or even just like, or even both. I mean, in the entertainment or music or wellness industry too, I know that when it comes to with just really having that kind of appeal, when it comes to with being a man or being a woman too, it's just like there's, you know, looks aren't everything, but when it comes to just putting yourself out there, when it comes to with, you know, in the entertainment industry, or even just like in the wellness industry too, you just, you know, you gotta look the part too, and not just in the ways that you have to like show off your body or anything like that. You just really gotta, you know, when it comes to just like matching the part. And I'm sorry for my I don't know what's up with my camera, it keeps freezing. That's some shit. So anyways, back to what I was talking about when it comes to with this video. So when it comes to with the objectification too, and it's just like, you know, I'm totally against people who are objectified in the most weirdest ways too, and you know, especially if you're a man and a woman too. But at the same time also, there's nothing wrong with just being confident with who you are when it comes to with your looks, with your physical body, and just really putting yourself out there for the right reasons and for the healthiest reasons too. Like say for example, like you're a fitness instructor and you like you're in shape, you look good inside and out, you really just practice healthy habits when it comes to with not only working out but also with nutrition and with, you know, resting and self-care and all that. And you put yourself out there, you know, for people to see, to promote your brand, to just really get your name out there too and your brand. And you know, there's going to be people who will just, you know, say the most craziest stuff, especially on social media. And like I know a couple of people who are in those kind of industries, and you know, sometimes too, like most of the comments don't bother them, but it's the ones that stand out the most that are like inappropriate, especially towards them or about certain things too. That's just really, you know, stands out in the most unhealthiest ways. And it's just when it comes to with just putting yourself out there, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just being comfortable in your own skin. And this is where somatic healing comes in here too, because when it comes to with just mirroring and really just appreciating who you are and just really being comfortable within your own skin, just looking at the mirror, saying like, oh, you're awesome, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you know, that you don't have to say it out loud, but really just doing that, you know, for yourself, especially when it comes to if you want to just get in shape, if you want to just, you know, be more healthy in most every aspect, energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. And that can really just have that ripple effect when it comes to with that, especially if you're sharing it on social media, whether you're a man or a woman too. And it's just like, you know, people will, you know, again, you have no control what people say, because people will say anything out there too when it comes to with just like, hey, you know, when it comes to with just saying like, oh, you got nice feet, you got a nice butt, you got, you know, or anything like that. So you probably know what I'm talking about. But at the same time also, it's just really good to really have that kind of understanding and really just being mindful of what we're getting ourselves into when it comes to just putting yourself out there, and to really just, knowing what you're doing as well. And it's just like when it comes to promoting that kind of message, like especially if you're catering to like a certain kind of audience, if you're catering to adults, especially for men and women who just like to just, to learn something, but also to really just be entertained. So it's kind of like really knowing what you're getting yourself into, knowing your audience, and really just, doing that in the most healthiest ways too. And especially when it comes to with just like putting yourself out there. And man, now just talking about it and really just to really just talking with you guys too about it too. It's just I'm still learning about it as well too when it comes to not only with somatic healing, but also putting myself out there as a person, because even with me as a man too, believe it or not, for those who are watching this for the first time or for the second time, I've been, I say objectified in the most, in the most healthiest ways too. I'm just gonna keep it real, just because like with me, over the years, and even just being comfortable within my own body. I mean, I get compliments about, I got like a certain good muscle tone. I said I was attractive live on the podcast one time a few years ago. And even just with that too, it's just like, oh, I appreciate it, because it's like, even with as a man and just really giving compliments from someone from the opposite sex, usually it's just like, oh, usually it's a man who's complimenting a woman. It's like, that's like a known thing, but to get it from the opposite end too, it's kind of different. And even especially if you're getting comments from people, even though you never know what they look like when it comes to with like if they're a man or a woman. So like, who's to say, like, especially in online certain spaces like on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and even the YouTube, like you never know who's behind the screen. At the end of the day, I'm just going to keep it a buck. You never know who's who, because sometimes people can catfish. They can really just be like, it could be anybody. And that's the most scariest part also. And that's what scares me about putting myself out there. It's just like, I don't want to promote any kind of like unhealthy mixed signals or messages, especially towards a younger audience as well, because I'm all about, common sense and healthy boundaries. And especially being a mindfulness and a relationship coach too. And it's just like, if I'm promoting like a message and I'm just really being hypocritical about it, then I need to get called out about that shit too. Real talk. And it's just like when it comes to with just really being careful what I'm doing when it comes to just put myself out there. Just really having that kind of like mindful understanding about that, if that makes sense to anyone who's listening and watching this video too. So especially for anyone who's like a younger audience who watches my videos, I mean, it's just like I recommend you guys, especially if you're a younger audience, just really be careful asking your parents permission to watch my videos, because I really cater to an audience for grown folks too, especially people who are, I should say like 21 years old and over too, because I like to just really cater to that audience. Nothing wrong with the younger audience too, but at the same time, I like to really just be genuine and really just be real at the same time, because I have a lot of colorful language when it comes to my personality, and like I don't want to offend anybody or say things inappropriate towards someone that's gonna be like rub people the wrong way. So I don't want to get in trouble from any families out there. I want no smoke with any kind of families out there who are subscribers to my channel as well. But when it comes to with grown folks who like my content and they could gain something from it too, when it comes to being entertained or just learning something, or even all the above too, when it comes to with certain topics, from entertainment to personal growth to self-care, wellness, relationships, and all that. That's cool. I'm all about that, and I definitely will be continuing to really just doing that in a really fun way, especially for this entertainment channel, to really just providing you guys some mindful and some creative entertainment too for you guys to enjoy and to really just take from too. So again, especially when it comes to with anyone who's watching my content and just watching my content for the first time, and just really being mindful of that as well. But when it comes to with Janae's video, and big shout out to her, she really did a really good job just breaking this video down. She did it way better than I could ever do. Not just to doubt my own kind of ability, but I'm just keeping it real and keeping the buck too, because content creators who can really just do their own research and really just putting things together like that in a creative way, I support them nonetheless. I support them in every shape or form. I hope they reach their goals when it comes to for their YouTube channel, for their professional goals too as a content creator, and I fully support them. I'm all about that. With me as a content creator, someone who loves women and who appreciates my own gender as well in a respectful way. When it comes to men, I just like seeing people grow, to really just be to really just pursuing their dreams and all that too. And for me, I just really want to support people when it comes to with what I bring to the table with my life coaching experience and even my experience in the wellness industry, and with with everything else too, along with that, with somatic healing and mindfulness and self-care when it comes to with using essential oils, other natural products too that can help you to support your energy, to have like a cleaner environment and all that. And even with relationships too, whether you're single or if you're curious and want to date somebody too who's who really just vibes with you too, that you guys have similarities as well. So but overall too, when it comes to with this reaction video by Danielle, I don't know how to say her name. I can't pronounce certain names nowadays. I gotta refocus my English there and just really study that a little bit more, especially my cursive. But that's another task I need to do another day. But overall though too, I believe Janae did a really good job with this reaction video. And if you guys ever want to show support when it comes to with her original video, or even just checking out her channel too, feel free to check out her channel, which will be linked in the title of this reaction video once I tag her in there too, just to show her support. And hopefully this video falls under fair use with YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube and me. I always do my best to oblige to the guidelines, but now they're just messing with me. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm just keeping the buck. But if you guys ever want to just show support when it comes to with just like the original video that Janae has talked about when it comes to with objectification and being sexualized too, feel free to check out the original video, which will be linked in the description below. And just like my final conclusion and reaction to this Janae's video, all I can say is just like really being careful and really knowing what you're getting yourself into if you want to just putting yourself out there as a man, as a woman, and just really knowing what you're doing too, just like putting the right message out there as well when it comes to you with as a person, as a content creator, as an entertainer, an artist, you name it too, for any grown folks who want to just put themselves out there for people to really just check you out, to really just see what you're all about too, if you're catering to a younger audience or to grown folks too. Just really being careful with that as well. That's all I can say, honestly, because again, I'm not a parent and I have no right to say when it comes to with the younger generation what they're going through as a parent, because that's not my expertise and I have no right to do so. So, but other than that though, as like someone who's I say I'm attractive in my own right. I'm not saying I'm ugly or anything like that, but for someone who's putting themselves out there, and I do that every single day, it's 24/7 with me, and just really knowing what you're getting yourself into, and just really letting people know about that as well, so people won't get confused or you won't get in trouble when it comes to with that, if that makes sense to anyone who's watching. So that's basically it when it comes to with this video. Again, if you guys ever want to check out the original video, it'll be linked in the description below. If you guys want to check out Janae's channel as well, shout out to this classy sister right here too. She's awesome. She's really cool and unique in her own way too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm about to call it a day when it comes to with making videos. I've been made other 3 videos for the last couple of hours, ever since in the morning too. And it's almost like 7 at night. So I'm about to call it a night here too. And I am out. So you guys take care, live your best lives. You really just be careful out there, putting yourself out there too when it comes to with that. You know, who am I to tell people what to do? But I just really want to promote that healthy message out there too when it comes to with promoting yourself and really just doing it for the right reasons. So you guys take care. You know, live your best lives. Live in your hot man or hot woman summer, however you want to, you know, display that as well, or how you want to live that, living your best life. You guys take care, and many blessings.